Welcome to Sis Answer the Call podcast, where faith meets action and purpose is awakened. I'm your host, Sylvie C. Humphreys, minister, purpose coach, and your sister on your journey to becoming everything God created you to become. Here, we empower women to rise in faith, freedom, wealth, wellness, and purpose. So, sis, it's time for you to stop shrinking, start shining, and step boldly into your divine assignment. So, whether you're on your couch, you're in your car, you're on the job, wherever you find yourself, just come ready to engage in real conversations about real topics, about real life. So come on, be inspired, get challenged, and motivated to answer the call. So, very first episode of Sis Answer the Call podcast. And I am so excited to introduce you to our very first guest, none other than the powerhouse fitness and wellness instructor, Jennifer Jordan, aka JJ of JJ Bodywork. Thank
Yes.
you so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to give you a little synopsis, a little background about Jennifer before we dive in and, kind of get all the tea from her, so to speak. So, first of all, Jennifer JJ is passionate about helping women find courage, find their confidence, strength, and basically wholeness through movement. But she doesn't only focus on the physical body. She takes a holistic approach to addressing the mind, the body, and the spirit. And through JJ Body Work, Jennifer has been helping women to equip them with pushing past fear, breaking unhealthy cycles, and finding the joy of loving themselves. Not only is she known for her expertise, but she's known for her heart for sisterhood and accountability. But let me just say this. Sister girl can get down in the kitchen, okay? So, without further ado, let us welcome JJ from JJ Bodywork. Hey, sis.
Thank you, girl. I'm so happy. I'm so honored and blessed that you chose me to be a part of your very first podcast. I'm excited to be here. I'm going to let you know right now, I speak from the heart. So this is very impromptu for me. But I would definitely carve out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or even an hour to be able to come on your very first podcast and share enlightenment, knowledge, experience, testimonies, whatever it is, because I'm here to answer the call.
All right. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so like any interview, right? We're gonna just, jump in and the most famous question is like, tell me about yourself, except with a little twist. So I'll say, so tell us how you got started in the fitness and wellness industry.
All right. Well, so how I got started was I always had a passion for dance, right? And I've always been athletic growing up. I was a cheerleader from sixth grade all the way through high school. College took a shift. That's when I kind of sat down and was just working. Then I realized like what an impact not moving had on my body, even early at that age. And I joined a gym membership, started going to gyms, and I noticed there were Zumba classes. I was going in there doing Zumba. Was like really like this, and I was always pointed out by the instructor, like, do you teach or do you whatever? Come up here with me and stuff like that. So that inspired me to be like, well, maybe this is something I can do. And so I just got started by going to get a Zumba certification, and took off from there. Went to LA Fitness, auditioned, and boom, started teaching Zumba. Then, of course, I ended up getting certifications in other platforms through LA Fitness, as far as strengthening and toning, aqua aerobics, and things of that nature. But it was my Zumba classes that really like took off. And so, yeah, that's what led me there. I went into a class just like you, and just felt the passion and the burning desire. And then next thing you know, it was like, oh, okay, well, let me give it a shot. And then from there, I was like, oh, okay, I guess this was a calling that I didn't even know. Because boom, when I tell you I had no intentions of creating my own fitness business, There was really no intentions of that, but God had a higher calling for me. And that's where it was the people around me that spoke it into me. Honestly, they were like, you need to do your own, you need to create your own, because this isn't even Zumba. We don't even know what this is that you're teaching, but it's not Zumba, it's something else, and you need to go do that, whatever that calling is. And
All right. Okay. You actually answered my next two questions
oh,
because yes, I was gonna ask, so did you have an aha moment that led you to say, okay, this is what I'm called to do, but you answered it already. Thank you for that. And well, my next question is this. So how did you come up with the name? Of course, JJ Bodywork. I mean, we could probably put it together, but what exactly led you to come up with the name JJ Bodywork?
okay, so of course Jennifer Jordan being my, initials. But in class, when I was teaching at LA Fitness, it was somebody was always shouting, me and my members or attendees were always shouting, word, word, or get it, Jay. All right, JJ. They were already calling me JJ, and they would always say work. And there was actually a class called Body Work. Um, and that I taught. And that one was very it was more co-ed. I had guys and females in that class with weights and whatnot. And that's when I started getting more into out instead of branching out of the dancing portion like Zumba and getting more into like, okay, resistance training, shrimp training, stuff like that. And I loved it. And I'm like, okay, I'm really starting to like this fitness thing. Like, it's not just about dance and having fun. Like, I'm like seeing like people get stronger, definition of muscle and things of that nature. And that's how I came up with the name. Like, I'm like, working the body.
Okay, okay, all right, I like that.
Something like, the word work was always, somebody was always shouting that in my classes. So yeah, that's how it came.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, okay, so you're actually right on cue, as though you knew what I was gonna ask, but I can tell from just talking to you, you have passion about dancing, and then you've mentioned, your clients or your students in your dance classes inspired you. So they would always cheer you on. So that takes me to the next segment of asking about your holistic approach, right? Approaching the mind, the body, the spirit, and sisterhood. So can you tell us a little bit more about that in terms of how you incorporate, the three aspects as well as
So incorporating that honestly just became it was a natural process. I noticed early on before I created JJ Bodywork that when people would come to my classes at LA Fitness, people, strangers, just meeting, and next thing you know, becoming friends, sisters, brothers, hanging out outside of the gym and really creating like a support group. Like I met people all the time who met through my classes, and there's a few now to this day they're like best friends, and so when I noticed that, I'm like, wow, like this isn't just somewhere to come and sweat and burn calories, but this is also wellness in a totally different aspect. Like, this is wellness for community, for family. A lot of us have love and support through family, and a lot of us don't. And when I saw that, because with my background, I didn't really grow up with blood relatives, my community was my family. So when I saw that in my classes, I was like, this is how I grew up. I It was strangers. It was somebody that wasn't, my blood, but that was auntie, that was cousin, and that's what I started noticing within my classes. And I'm like, wow, these people are here. They're strangers that met and now they support each other. They love on each other. They encourage each other. I'm like, this is so much bigger than me just coming in here, turning on the music and doing fitness. And so, that aha moment that you spoke of earlier, and that's I really had the aha moment when Ekena, her name is Ekena, she's a women's empowerment coach, and when she had booked me for an event to do like Zumba or whatever, she wanted me to empower women through motion and movement and the hips, the wine and work. And that was the first person that booked me outside of the gym. And I was paid well. And she said, she was the one that said, you can't keep working like an elephant and eating like an ant.
Mm.
Like you have a gift in you. I'm just letting you know you have a gift. And it was her, it was Leela, it was Chun, it was White, it was so many people that had spoke that within me. And next thing you know, I'll just say, you know what? God, God, are you talking to me? Are you telling me? Are you know? Because a lot of times, God will maybe He may not speak directly in your ear, but He will go through other people, to let you know. And yeah, that's what happened. So regardless of whether somebody dropped 25 pounds or lost inches or not, the fact that they were good mentally or they were happy overall, like to me that made the most impact for me as far as like the impression of like, dang, it's about fitness and wellness, but really wellness, like really wellness, because we can look good and be fit and fine all we want, but on the inside, if we don't love ourselves, or on the outside, if we don't have people to love on us,
Yes.
like that's major. That's major. So yeah, I know
Oh,
I'm a lengthy speaker, but
that's okay. That's okay. That's beautiful. So again, I hear you talk a lot about your faith, about God.
uh-huh.
So how did that come about? How, just tell us a little bit about your faith journey and how that, bridge into your, your fitness and wellness. Because I see how you talk about it a lot. Sisterhood, accountability, the whole body. So where does your faith come into play? How did it come into play?
So that part is still a journey for me. I feel like with this experience, and especially motherhood and everything else, and personal relationships and stuff like that, I've grown closer to God. But I would be lying if I didn't say there were times I might have distanced myself unintentionally by distractions. And so I've peaked over the years, like, okay, I've got too distracted, and I wasn't praying enough, or I wasn't rooted enough, in my faith. Doubts and stuff started coming in. And so along the way, this journey, I've realized, like, wow, we like to say, oh yeah, everything's God, God's number one, but you don't really feel it till you actually
Mm,
go through it and realize, like, dang, when I don't keep him first,
mm,
stuff happen, like we they say keep your eye on the prize, but with so many distractions going on, sometimes when you are elevating,
yeah.
you forget who's getting you there. And so that's when when I tell you, this journey has, oh, it's just giving me chills thinking about it.
Mm.
My faith is an ongoing process. My faith is there, but it gets stronger by the day. It gets stronger by my experience. And I have to tell you, it's gotten stronger by me failing.
Mm.
It's gotten stronger by me failing. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Um, but
Okay.
ooh, you might have to edit this part.
Okay, take your time.
And that's why in my classes, I always say, do it with intention. Be intentional. Do these movements with intention if you want to see results, because my heavenly Father have shown me that I have to have intent behind this, because he has given me purpose. So I have to be intentional while walking that path that he's laid for me. And so I'm grateful and I'm thankful for my failed experiences, and just on just that sometimes I have that uncertainty, like, where is this going to go? But when I feel that way, that's when, again, it's like, okay, I'm pulling away when I need to be pulling in.
Yes.
you know um I need to get more in the word, like, and I think I told you this outside of this interview, that I need to, I pray, but I can pray better, like I don't pray like you, but I want to learn to pray better. I want to be able to speak to God like effortlessly instead of me trying to find the words to to pray. And I more so give thanks more than I ask. And I think that's just the humbleness in me. But I checked myself this morning actually, because I'm like, I always get up and I'm always thinking, and I'm always thinking, which we should. But I'm like, dang, if I don't ask,
Mm,
I'm gonna receive. Like,
yes,
you can be thankful, Jen, but you have to ask God. You have to ask God specifically what it is, make it plain,
yes,
pray on that, and thank him in advance for what I'm praying for. So I noticed that today about me. I'm like, I'm always, which is a good thing. You should always
yes,
give
yes,
praise. But if we want things to happen, we have to ask God. So and we know he's not a genie. He's gonna give us what we need and what's
yes.
destined, and what is divine. But yeah, to answer your question as far as like how faith played a role, I would have to say it was by experience. It was by seeing the people around me, like when we would pray over each other and just seeing him move. I've seen so many miracles happen within my tribe. I'm talking about cancer free, recovering from stroke,
Mm,
all kinds of stuff. Injured foot, all of a sudden gone away. When
mm,
I've seen miracles within my tribe. I may not talk about it, but ooh, baby,
yes. I love it.
the power of prayer and miracles. It's a huge thing. And that's why my motto for my business is love, light, health, wealth. Love, light, health, wealth. That's my motto. I used to shout it even before JJ Bodywork, and I made it a part of the business. Like that's the motto: love, light, health, wealth. So,
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you, for sharing your heart and being vulnerable because we need that,
mm,
right? Because we want people to see that, you were not just born this way,
that's
right? You didn't
right.
just come out of the womb like, okay, I'm JJ, from JJ Bodywork. It is a process, right? It's a
Right. Yeah.
daily dying to the flesh, daily having to deny those negative thoughts, right? And even the naysayers and embrace, like you say, gratitude because
Mm,
there's nothing like it. However, you did, say something that was truly profound. God said, ask and I say seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open unto you.
mm,
Ask and he'll answer. So if you don't ask, even if he knows he has already made provisions for you, but he wants to know that you trust him enough that he
mm,
will give you those provisions. So that was a very good point that you brought up.
mm.
So we're gonna segue into now just asking you from the perspective of relating to your clients. For someone who's just starting off, right? What advice would you have to give them? Because we all have busy schedules. We're all juggling various things or wearing different hats. What
Mhm.
what advice would you give to someone who hasn't worked out in a while? They feel intimidated, like, oh, I see them on, I look at her website or I follow her on TikTok, but I don't even know how to coordinate one step. So what advice would you have for someone just starting off?
Oh yeah, I get those all the time. And they end up becoming a Sylvia or Nadine. But my advice to people who are, I would use the word intimidated, because they see it and they're just like, oh, that's a little bit too much, or I can't do that. But then there I have Miss Carla, my 79-year-old about to be 80 Miss Carla. I would tell people, um, you have to put your strength over doubt. You have to put your motivation over worry, because I mean, when I say that, I'm talking about JJ Bodywork. I have people in their 20s all the way up to almost 80 years old, and we make it work for us, right? I feel like with any program, there's an outline, and you can follow that outline, but you have to make it work for you. But I have to say, when I say it's beginner to advance, it's because I give that environment to where it's like you're safe here. Like you may not be kicking your leg up just yet, but you will.
Yes.
And with me saying you will, it's that willpower. So I have to be realistic in saying, like, if you want it, if you like what you see, if this is something you would like to do or want to join, girl or guy, come on in and make it work. But if you're too focused on the doubt part of it, well, JJ Bodywork may not work for you, because the what I've cultivated in my fitness family is that support, and then you get that confidence. So when you come in that room and you don't feel that support, or you don't, then maybe this part of the journey is not for you. But I would say anybody that come in there with an open mind and able to receive that love and joy we give, and our love and our light is a bit powerful now.
Yes, it
And
is.
on your walk of life, it might be too strong for you, you know. But when you're ready to like reseek, like, because our oh, it's a powerhouse in there. There's a lot of different energies in there. But when I tell you that godlike energy is strong, and if you're ready to receive that, I feel like whether you can do a pump or barely a squat, you'll just want to come and just continue and just get better. So I say to people who may feel like, oh, it's a little bit intimidating, or I can't coordinate and stuff like that, but you're moving, and the thing is, it's like I'm the type of person, I'll make myself available. Like, if you want to learn the moves, or if you want to learn to coordinate more, or hey, how do I wind my hips like that? Me and my sisters there's plenty of time. We'll stay after class. We'll show you. Come on. We'll, so the main advice I can give to people is that don't don't dismiss, like, the support and the community that's actually there. So it's not about you coming into that room and being able to get every step, or, oh, I can't keep up with them, or I don't shout like them. No, be you, and let that energy infiltrate, like, because it will.
Yes, yes, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Okay, so I'm kind of going to backtrack a little bit. So the similar question, except, okay, so we know once the person gets there, they can just plug in because it's a vibe, you're a whole vibe by yourself. I've told you that before, and you just set the atmosphere on fire. Like, literally, people who didn't know each other before have become or are becoming closer. Like, I have witnessed that and experienced that myself. But what about the busy working mom, or even say dad, because your class is open, um, who's who has a busy schedule, a hectic life. They are not intimidated, but they just don't feel like they have the time to incorporate that level of exercise or fitness or wellness. What is your advice for that person?
I always tell people your home is your gym.
Mm,
Your home is your gym. Outside in your neighborhood, that pavement, that's a gym. You don't have to physically be in a fitness studio or gym, LA Fitness, JJ Bodywork, or other places to get the fitness, to be able to exercise, right? So being that I'm a single mom and juggle a lot of things, I got my 9 to 5 as well as JJ Bodywork and my daughter and stuff like that. I juggle a lot. But as far as the average adult who may be juggling so many things and feel like it's hard for them to, make it to class or fit fitness in there, I'm just gonna make it plain. No excuses, just results. You have a home, I'm pretty sure you have a neighborhood or something. You can make time. You can definitely make time to do some workouts. Like, even with me, I have a lot of people who actually have memberships to come into my gym. But because now they have to go in the office or they move further out, they utilize my virtual. I have all of my classes, all of my sessions, including exclusive content, including instructional videos on my website. So you can literally take it with you. I have a few clients who had to go on work trips or vacation. They take that laptop with them. They take JJ Bodywork wherever they go.
yes.
So it's at their fingertips, even if it's at midnight or if it's at 4 a.m., whenever they can fit it in, they turn on one of them classes and they get it in. But even if, let's say, you don't have access to my visionary body plan, or you're not a member, you don't have access to my catalog. YouTube is free. Like I said, outside is free. So I tell people all the time, because with this economy, money, we got to put our money where it needs to go, right? Bills and things of that nature. And sometimes, finance can always be an issue. And I tell people, even with that, like, don't let money stop you from exercising. You're at home. Oh my God, calisthenics and Pilates and all that thing. You don't even need equipment. All you need is yourself and your willpower, because you will do it,
Okay.
thing. Like, don't that whole I can't, da da da. No, you can, you will. So for people that's, juggling multiple things and can't make time, oh, there's always time for there's always time. There's always time. If you have time to read a book, you have time to watch TV. Um, there's always time to go for a walk, do some push-ups and things of that nature. Because that was me at one point. I think a lot of us at one point, even when outside was shut down and stuff like that, we utilized the things at home.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I say to that. But I mean, if you wanted to do JJ Body work exercises, oh, like I said, you can take JJ Body Work anywhere you go. And I even provide free live classes on TikTok, at least 3 days a week. So, but like I said, if okay, I can't make it to her live classes at that time, or I can't, I don't really want to pay for a membership, or woo woo woo, you know. Yeah, if you have stairs at home, do you know how many times I've used my stairs just to burn some extra calories? If you have an able body and you're able to do push-ups, you're able to do squats, take your kid around the block, like go for a walk. Uh, so just to put it bluntly, no excuses for that. No excuses.
Okay, all right. So I hope you guys are listening now. No excuses. Yeah, she actually answered my next question, because when asked, like what, exercises she would suggest for a beginner, but she touched on that. So thank you so much, JJ, for doing that for us. I'm going to insert a question that I didn't plan to ask right now, but I mentioned it at the beginning in your introduction. Tell us
Mhm.
about the good food that, you throw down in your kitchen and we get to, enjoy on a weekly basis.
So shoot, I eat everything. Okay. So I cook just about everything, but what I would say is I cook with love. I cook with love, and a lot of times while I'm cooking, I'm praying, or a lot of times I'm playing gospel music, as well. So when it comes to the cooking and the food, as far as like I would say for your health, I just say cook with whole ingredients, whole ingredients, less processed foods. Yes, I eat bacon. That's a process, thing. Cheese is heavily processed. Yes, I eat cheese. So I do things that's in moderation and balance, right? So I might eat cheese, I might eat bacon, but you're probably not going to catch me eating like too many hot dogs or sausages or bolognas, those type of processed stuff. A lot of frozen, pre-cooked meats and stuff. No, it's raw, and I just gotta cook it. So that's another thing. Like, oh, planning and preparation. I gotta carve out the time just to make these whole meals. Even when it comes to the ingredients, like the get the fresh garlic, get the fresh onions, get the peppers. I chop it up, I cook with it, I try to, but like I said, I know it's when you got kids and stuff. Sometimes the instant stuff is the most
Convenient.
option.
Yes.
But yeah, if you can get the plain raw oats and put fresh fruits and stuff to flavor it, that's better than I don't want to say the brand, but getting an instant pack of oatmeal that's heavily packed with sugar and all kinds of other things and preservatives. Um, so when it comes to the food, girl, I don't discriminate. I like, red meat, veggies, poultry, seafood. I eat it all. I don't discriminate. I mean, it's a couple of things that I won't eat because I just, like I don't like the taste of liver. I can't eat pig's feet. But besides that, I was raised to just cook with love. Like when I used to be at my friend's house growing up, I would be in the kitchen while their grandma was cooking. I used to, oh, what is that? Or what did you use? I always used to be interested in that. I'm a foodie. So, yeah, cook with love, make time, just like we make time to get our nails done, our hair done, and things of that nature. We have to make time to put good food in our body. Try to cook our own meals if we can. If not, you learn how, or hire how you can hire a meal prep person. But we gotta, just like we make time for certain things or catching brunch with whoever, you better make that time to get some exercise in, to prep your meals, to cook your meals, so.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. We're winding down, but I want to ask you, is there or are there, but if you want to speak about one in particular, are there any challenges you faced during your journey, your fitness journey?
My fitness journey or like my business?
Or in general, because they're all connected. So
All
is
right.
there any major challenge you can think of that you had to overcome?
Stress. Learning how to manage stress for definitely. And the whole eating part, that part too, like because we get so busy and stuff, eating out, doing takeouts, things of that nature, and then the whole stress thing. People often talk about cortisol and relating it to body fat, but there's a difference within other things that's stressing you versus cortisol levels being high because you're doing cardio,
Mm.
kind of like good cortisol versus other things or personal matters that might be stressing you out. So during my fitness journey, I've noticed, like, even with me aging, I'm like, dang, I'm fluctuating. There's been times I've been slim. There's been times I've been a little fluffy. I go up and down. And then that's when I realized, and I also observe and study my clients as well. Like, I look to see, like, woo, such and such has made a lot of improvement just in 3 months, or she's going backwards. And then I even look at myself like, I'm an instructor. I'm teaching 4 classes a week. Why am I not looking snatched like the person I'm coaching? And when I talk to them and speak to them, it was eliminating a lot of stress. It was about getting rest. I realized, even though I have no choice sometimes to be on go, 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 go. When I tell you, when I definitely make the time out now to get my rest, I'm going to do that. And even if that means, ooh, I might have to miss out on this call or this meeting, or I might not be able to go get my hair done today because I wanted 2 hours extra of rest, I'm going to do that. So definitely what I've learned during my fitness journey and being instructor, coach, people like to call it, is that, wow, I really have to learn to breathe. Stress management.
Yes.
Second to that's number two to God first. That, like I told you, we gotta stay focused, right?
Yes, yes,
Oh, getting distracted thing, that thing is major. And it
yes,
tends to happen when we're elevating. We lose sight, like we see happiness, so we're excited, and then we forget to get down on our knees and pray. And when I say get down on your knees, make him a priority, like
yes, yes,
it's so many things that we do, and we do it with intention. And I feel like when we're talking to God and we're giving thanks and gratitude, or just having that one-on-one, make him that one.
yes, yes.
And I've been in my closet on the floor speaking with my heavenly father, like it just carving out that time. So that number one. Two, stress management. Breathe. We can't always be on go. Sometimes you got to sit your butt down.
Yes.
I've definitely had the injuries to make myself sit down and reflect on some things. Um, but that, and really, what we feed our body is what we feed our soul. Okay. So yeah, oh, I'm not saying you can't have a pizza here and there and stuff like that. I live a very balanced life. Baby, I'm gonna have me some fried chicken and maybe a fried pork chop, maybe a couple times a month. But we have to be mindful that, that 80% of the time we have to have to really nourish our body with really good dense nutrient foods and things of that nature, because like what we feed our gut definitely has a lot to do with our skin and everything else that's going on, even how we feel mentally. So to answer your question, as far as like the my fitness journey, that's what I've learned and gained experience. But if you don't mind, I want to mention the business journey of it though.
Sure,
So
go ahead.
while I've so just to make it clear, I was a instructor at LA Fitness for 3 years before doing JJ Bodywork, and now it's been 3 years in with JJ Bodywork. About
Mm.
year four in February, and that time for anybody who is looking to start a business or in fitness or wellness or whatever the case may be. Ooh, ooh. This is my third location?
Yes, pretty much. Yes. Yeah.
I went from, renting out somebody else's gym space to, okay, now I'm going to get my own space, to being evicted out that space because somebody wasn't paying the rent that a lot of stuff. So, okay, well, now I got this space, had to move further out. I lost all my clients because nobody could, drive out there, to, okay, finally I got this space here in Decatur that I've been wanting for a year, and so now, but I got my own studio now, but it's like, oh, the overhead it's a lot. It's a lot. So it's definitely been a journey, but I kept going.
Yeah.
When uh, the one place I was renting, all my stuff got thrown out. Well, everybody's stuff got thrown out. Even with that situation that happened, oh, that could have crushed me. I could have gave up on that whole JJ Bodywork idea right then, because I
Yes.
got that as a sign, like maybe this ain't for me.
Mm.
But instead, I found the storage, put all my stuff in there. Went to Peer Space and rented, couple of places that had, studio openings for me to still teach my classes. Did I lose money? Did I lose clients? So yes, of course, that happens. That it did happen. But eventually, I got the space that I had my eye on for like
Yes.
it happened. And I'm glad. So I'm glad I kept going. I'm glad I kept going, and who knows what's going to happen from here? So
All the
definitely,
way up.
yeah. And I know we like to look at the monetary things and, oh, when does the money come and stuff like that, but honestly, like, we got to look at the wealth and the benefits, and the benefits are, man, sisterhood, fellowship, community. I've had a couple clients come in who hadn't prayed or went to church in years.
Mm.
Now they're getting back into it.
Ooh, love it.
Yes, it's stuff moving and shifting and happening. And that's why I feel like, sometimes when I, get down, like, oh gosh, where's the revenue? I see the bigger things that's happening, the true wealth that's happening. And I'm like, that's my purpose. So, when God puts you in position, and you have that purpose, you're paid.
Yes.
You are paid, So yeah, I had to get the business aspect of that. There's the fitness, my personal fitness journey, but then there was, the
Absolutely.
entrepreneurship journey, and ooh, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, anybody who's watching who might be, thinking about starting a business, that's pretty helpful for them to let them know not to give up and to keep your eyes on the prize. Because like you said, the challenges that you face both personally and, business wise could have made you give up, but they didn't because you had a greater sense of purpose.
Right.
So that's the key right here, right? Knowing why you do what you do. And that's where the motivation comes in. What is that saying that you say a lot at the end of class? It's
Hug
a saying
yourself,
on say it, go ahead.
hug yourself, love yourself.
Okay, yes. And then you also have it's in your bathroom.
Oh, when I talk about
Yes,
your ability, yeah, your ability, your motivation, and your attitude. Yeah, so it's like a popular saying, it's a popular quote, but I have it hung up in my gym because it's really about, your ability, what you're capable of doing, right? and then your motivation, that's what you are doing, because your motivation is always going to drive what you're doing. And then your attitude, because that part is the most important, because your attitude will determine if you even stick with what you're able to do and what you're motivated to do and how well you do it. So that attitude is a big thing. And that's why in my classes, when sometimes we have our days. Sometimes we come in there with different things that's burdening us, stressing us out and stuff like that. But when I sense it, I'm going to come next to you and I'm going to be like, come on, lift up your spirit,
Yes.
energy, because I have to, if you don't feel it within yourself, that's why I love my tribe. Someone in that room is going to come next to you and they're going to try to,
Yeah.
make you feel that energy to motivate a more positive attitude, because that the attitude definitely plays a role in a room. Most of us as women, right? Room full of women, and that attitude can definitely make it a experience or a great experience. So when I notice it, you know, I, I would progressively go, try to shift it, because I want you to leave here feeling better than how when you entered. And most of us, a lot of the times, we go in there for that release, to feel empowered, to, hey, let me get that stress off of me from today. Let me go in there and just to brighten my mood. So yeah, and that's what you're gonna get. But yeah, your ability, your motivation, and your attitude. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. So that's why I have it hanging up in my gym.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because I know I've come in there sometimes and I can tell a big difference. I come in there and I'm overthinking, I have a lot of things weighing on my mind, and I can tell like my energy level has shifted. But by the time I get to the end of class, it's like as though I didn't come in with any problems. So I
Mhm.
totally, totally can attest to that. Okay, so we are pretty much at the end of our interview, and I just want to say thank you so much, JJ, for taking the time because we know you are busy. Um, yes, to come here and just talk to us and inspire us. And I know for those of you who are listening and I know you're at the edge of your seat because you're taking all these good, wisdom nuggets and advice and all that in. Um, I want Jennifer to go ahead and tell you how you can get in touch with her. So if you're trying to come to class or take her online classes, so JJ, share your social media handles, your website, your information with us, please.
Sure. So my Instagram, that's the one that I post the most on. My Instagram is JJ underscore so glow. And, like coming to America, let your soul glow. SOULGLOW all together. So it's JJ underscore so glow. That's my Instagram. And then my TikTok is JJ.bodywork. And then my website's pretty simple. It is, ooh, look at me just getting, there's somebody sending over a contract now. I got a fitness event coming up.
Amen.
Yes,
Yes. I love it.
my website is jjbodywork.com, and that's work with an E. So it's WERK. There's no S. Everybody like to call it JJ Bodyworks. It's not. It's just JJ Bodywork. Okay. So it's jjbodywork.com. That's my website. Anything you need to know about my classes and schedule, it's on my website. There's different plan options if you want to sign up for a membership. You want all the classes, half the classes, just two of the classes, or if you just want to do virtual, all those plans are up there. If you're not sure what your schedule is looking like, a lot of us have different things going on, and you think you just want to drop in here and there, I got drop-in options available as well. So yeah, that's how you can find out more about JJ Bodywork. And then I, of course, have a get in touch with form on my website. So if you have any additional questions outside of what I've already have on my website, you can definitely get in contact with me. I like to say I'm accessible.
You are. You are. You are.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, sharing that with us, JJ. Any last words before we depart?
Love, light, health, wealth.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
love, light, health, wealth. Um, yeah, again, this is very improv. God dang it. My dang on phone trying to die on me. Um, uh, Any last words? Mm, if you hear him, if you hear him, listen. That will be my last words. If you hear him, listen. Listen.
Amen. Amen.
That's it.
All right. No, that's powerful all by itself. So basically she's saying, listen to the voice of God. That still small voice in your head, listen to it. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. If he told you to do it, just take the first step.
Mm-hmm. And
All right.
discernment. Ask God for discernment. Trust it.
Yes, absolutely. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you, sis, for answering the call.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yes. Until next time.
All right, girl.
Okay. Bye-bye.